Hello and welcome to Global Forum for Quality Skills and Entrepreneurship 2023 organized by Business Connect magazine. This is Kajal Dobhal, your host for today. And as you can see that I have with me my special guest, Mr. Mukund Bhushan. So thanks for joining us today, Mr. Bhushan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
That's great. So let's jump straight into discussing about your company profile and services and walk us through what is it that you're providing the market with.
Sure. So we started the company back in 2019 as Nebutech Analytics. This was when I was in my third year of engineering, and it was a rather funny beginning because me and my father we were talking on how much a junior resource tends to make, and I didn't really like the salaries which he told. So as a result, we ended up starting the firm along with my mother. So she's the co-founder. So although it's not intended, but it turned out to be more of a family business because every one of us are involved in some way or the other. So yeah, and then later for branding purposes we made it into Threadality Technologies, and so now we are primarily an IT development company. We are in 3 different countries as of now, starting off with India. Then we registered it in US to have a more global exposure. And recently we opened it in UAE, in Dubai, and which is where I live right now. So it's a good place where I have connects with all the different countries that I tend to manage. So so we develop products basically, and it varies depending on what we like to develop actually. So we figure out a problem, and if we think it's worth solving, we tend to go with it. So
I guess tech-related issues you're saying.
yeah, it's primarily on tech, and within tech we focus primarily on collaborative tools. So that's like one way of putting it.
Okay, so I guess you provide the tailor-made solution, a personalized
Yes,
solution
yes,
as per your as per your client's need, right? Okay, that's great to know. So moving ahead, I would also like you to shine some light on your USPs. Like, how do you stand out in the market? So please walk our viewer through that.
So it is a newer firm, and it's that much more important for us to stand out and make sure that we are visible in this ever evolving space. So
It's very competitive too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a much more better term. Yeah, it's a highly competitive space which we need to look at. Our USP lies mainly in the freedom to experiment and to develop and provide. Right. So me as this CEO or a founder, my job is to provide this freedom for my members. The products which we tend to work on, even though it is a relatively newer firm, we tend to work on relatively difficult stuff because our products are tailor-made for engineering, like core engineering. So it's like manufacturing or civil engineering and all of those things. So we work on very complicated tools, and the freedom to think and solve a problem and understand a perspective which is not immediately obvious is basically what helps us to deliver better and also stand out from this ever evolving and competitive space. Yeah, so that's
Okay, that's great to know and really interesting for our viewers also. So, Mr. Bhushan, I would also like you to share your thoughts on the changing business scenario. As we just mentioned, like it's highly competitive, and so in respect to your industry, what are your thoughts on this subject?
So I think we need to look at it in a more global perspective. So when I speak with other entrepreneurs across the globe, there is a certain culture which is attached to it. So if you look at Americans, they have the freedom and the capabilities to work on extremely difficult, and innovation is always an undertone, but like quantum computing, blockchain and stuff of that sort, which is not something which is very openly, it is discussed, but it's not very openly practiced, and things work in different countries, like maybe in India for that matter, right? Versus if you look at an Asian dominated country like I don't know, Singapore, which is one place that I tend to visit a lot and interact with a lot. Their startups tie a lot with the Asian culture, and the same can be said with India as well. It is evolving in a way that a new startup now, its core identity is how they tie with their country's culture, as opposed to just making a product. So how a product tends to be tailored for that country in specific. Um, Now again, figuring out how to attach these buzzwords like AI, blockchain, quantum, and stuff. That's again, it's on the fly, and you need to understand how it ties with whatever it is that you're building. But yeah, so having said that, I think now the more that you look at developing countries, India, Brazil, and maybe some other places, Indonesia, one more, Africa, which is a booming market. These countries, they're focusing more on how an entrepreneur can get to that stage, right? To maybe easily register their company, or in India in particular, which I adore the most in when I interact with the other countries, how easy and accessible the government has made it for people like me to get these grants, or maybe file for patents, ISO certifications, and all of that. To compare to all the other countries that I have seen, Indian government has made it much more easier and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, that's great to know then, Mr. Bhushan. And due to time constraint, definitely we won't be able to, ask you more questions. But before putting, but before putting an end to this conversation, I would like you to share your futuristic vision for your organization, and please share it with our viewers out there.
So, well, our plan is to go global, and I think with that vision, we are now in 3 different places. And we are also, a couple of months down the line, we are also registering it in the 4th. Our vision is to collaborate with a lot more different people. I think one of our steps to achieve this, about 20% of my workforce are physically challenged. So this is one way where I tend to collaborate with these type of people as well, and give them a platform to for an exposure, in some sense. There are people from vivid and diverse backgrounds which work for us, and I think that's one which I'd like to enhance a lot more. And with this global reach, I think that's one which is going to be much more prevalent. And certainly, finances, we got to make money. It is a for-profit organization at the end of the day. But barring aside the financial side of stuff, I think it's this that motivates me to work more and achieve a certain goal which I think is attainable.
It's truly remarkable to know, Mr. Bhushan, and Business Connect wishes you many more success ahead. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Any feedback for us?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's my first event with Business Connect, and I'm enjoying it so far, having a good time.
Okay.
And
That's
thanks for
great.
the opportunity again. So,
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much. Have a nice day ahead. Please
Thank
enjoy.
you.